Sitting in my mobile coffee shop,
Making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok. Dan Alexander, the Shoe Fits on TikTok, one of our favorite guys that we like to look at. He recently built an art studio for disadvantaged children. No, what's the word he uses? Vulnerable.
It's a safe space for
Yes.
vulnerable children. Yes.
Right. He built this by himself with donations from you fine people, and someone donated a kiln to him, and then he started up his ceramic shop, and now he develops all this pottery, and we've seen it before. And he talks about it. He's got a mobile coffee shop, and all of his mugs that he makes is pottery are right out in front for people to look at and do some window shopping. And then they might say, you know, I'm just going to get a regular coffee black, but go ahead and put it in this mug. I like this mug right here.
Yeah.
But sometimes bad things happen.
Today someone decided to steal from me, and I sort of have mixed feelings about it. And I have mixed feelings about it because the pottery that I make, the stuff that I make...
You don't think someone stealing from him should give him mixed feelings?
I was robbed, and now how do I feel about this?
Let's find out what his mixed feelings about it. All right, let's see.
I can sell. It supports my art studio, and my art studio supports local kids. And in order to keep the lights on and keep the space open and keep the renovations going, I need to have some level of income. And I mean, to be honest, I've been absolutely floored by some of the donations that people have made. It's really helped with a lot of the renovations and stuff, but that's not a sustainable income. I need to be able to make stuff and
Basically
sell it
worthless.
so that I can pay the utility bills and the other bills that are based around this space. So most of my pottery I sell out of this, which is my mobile coffee shop. I put things on the ledge. It's sort of an honor system. People pick out items that they like while I'm making their coffee, and then they pay me for it and they drive off. Well, today someone stole a vase off the shelf. I guess it's kind of flattering that someone thought one of my items was nice enough to steal, but it's still...
I'll never forget, Mike.
What a nut.
I'll never forget when the Target CEO came out when all the looting was going on in the stores. And he was like, look, I don't like that people are vandalizing our stores and robbing them, but what does that say about the locations we picked out? People know where Target is. They know how to get there. Pandemic hits, they're in there, baby.
I bet the people in the chat lost a lot of money betting that it was going to be, but it was an underprivileged black youth.
Oh, right, yes.
I thought it was going to be someone that needed it more than he did. Or something.
No, it's a mixed feeling because he's like, I want people to pay for this stuff, but they wanted it, so that's pretty cool.
My art is so goddamn good.
Right.
Still kind of frustrating. It's the idea that I'm trying to do something good in this world and someone decided to take from that. It doesn't change anything for me. It really doesn't. It doesn't change my trust in other people. It doesn't change my mission. It doesn't change the good that I'm trying to do in this world. It just is a little discouraging.
Probably didn't even need to talk about it then.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if someone stole one item from you and it changed your whole disposition.
You know what? I don't think humanity is dead. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably didn't need to talk about it because evidently it didn't affect me at all.
Guys, I've been a liberal Democrat, as you know, I talk about it a lot. Now I'm an anarchist. And now I say every man for himself. It's a free-for-all out there. Fuck it.
Based on the way David feels about this is like if I lost my headphones and I came on here and was like, guys, I lost my headphones, but I've decided I'm not going to kill myself.
You might notice I'm wearing headphones. I ordered a new pair. So
I think that's very brave of me.
I'm going to keep podcasting.
Yeah, just make another vase, I guess.
You know, I have mixed feelings about something too that I want to talk about on here. So I didn't want to bring this up. It's very personal, but since Dave is talking about these things, my wife was recently essayed, and while that's a horrific thing, it's kind of flattering, you know, that they find her attractive enough that they would pick her out of the group and do that. It's like,
she's not a dog, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, someone did pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
if they're forcing themselves
you hear
on
that,
her.
John? Someone's not looking so bad.
As Record Lover in our Discord pointed out, Record Lover is also woke.dad. He has a security camera pointed at that counter. He could show the footage. He could see who did it. He could talk to us about this. This is probably another made-up story.
No, but it didn't affect him that much. That's why he's not showing us.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's why he's not going to the cops.
Well, Mike, I don't know if you know about this, but not only does he sell his ceramics at the mobile coffee shop, he's also now going to these art shows.
Oh, I do know about this. Yeah, I saw a video where he talked about it.
Okay. Well, there's also a Facebook post, and the fine folks in our Discord found this because his girlfriend, or I should say partner,
Yes. Hey, don't make that mistake.
posted this on her Facebook. And so it says, and don't look at the name, it doesn't matter. It says, Dan is ready and open for business at the Moravia Spring Craft Fair, Moravia High School.
Okay.
And she posts all these photos of his stuff, and it's all these mugs, and he's got price tags on it. You see he brought tons of pieces. He's showing off his art that he puts on the bottom of them. Okay. He also has paintings and vases that we can see here. Wow. Plates.
Nice.
Big pieces of art here. Lots of art going on. And then there's Dan behind it, kind of looking off like, hey, look at what I did, huh? Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then here's him peeking around his art at another photo. He has 3 full tables of art. This guy spent the maximum amount to display all of his shit.
Yeah. Well, don't you understand? He has to keep the lights on, damn it.
And then over here, there's another photo of him. And now he's got a reluctant, like, can you believe what I have to do, what I'm up to over here?
He's covered in paint.
So I want to thank Admiral Underpants in our Discord for looking at one of these photos. And he zoomed in, he found all the prices on everything. And so this is just 19 mugs that you can see visibly what the prices are. Now there's over 100 items. There's probably 300 items here. But 19 mugs, $475 is what he's looking for these 19 mugs. So not bad.
How many is that per mug?
They average $30.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it seems excessive, right?
You made them. You don't have to.
No. Hold on a second. No, there's tariffs. There's shipping.
Yeah.
There's
the clay was
overhead bureaucracy. There's marketing involved. A lot of expenses that go into this.
What the fuck?
So I thought this was a great find. That they're posting this all over Facebook. Very proud of his art, and this is what he's doing.
Are these all items he made?
Thank you. That was the other point that was pointed out in our Discord. I forgot to say. Yeah. Not one piece is a child made this in his art studio.
How does he have time for this?
This is all he's doing. He works 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday, at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
From what I'm told, I don't know. I think he works like 6 to 10 or something like that.
Okay.
And then he spends the rest of his time making art. And we paid for this. We being the royal we. I didn't donate personally, but you get the point.
You can imagine if we did.
Yeah, right?
We'd be real busted up about
it. So that's why you saw this video. That's why I pulled this one. I think it's appropriate after seeing what he's up to.
Okay.
This is sort of a tough moment where it probably shouldn't be a tough moment. It's a little emotional, but if you see behind me, the walls were empty where they were once full. And it's because I have a craft show tomorrow. This is the art studio, and the space is gonna.
So now he needs us to buy supplies so he can make art for the walls.
Right. And he's choked up the art that he made to decorate his art studio. They're up on his walls. He had to pull down to go sell for $50.
Yeah, but now you're gonna have to make more art.
Correct.
What?
Well,
it's a Ponzi scheme.
No, there's an Amazon wish list. You should get right on there, Mike. He's going to need more paint and crayons.
Son of a bitch.
Support local kids, keep them safe, give them a safe space. And I love some of the art that I do. I love to keep it. I love to have it here so that other people can see it. But the reality,
you love some of the art that you do, Dem. You're impressed with everything you create, including those 2 retarded children you have.
Well, I
Quality is
Did I go too far just now? I'm sorry.
A little
My bad. I take it back. We're
I'm sure
friends.
they're
still.
very nice.
We're friends still, right, Dad? I'm sure the kids are great.
I need to keep the lights on in this space. I need to keep the power. I need to keep the renovations coming. So
So why didn't you think about that when you decided to open an art studio that was a charitable endeavor?
What you should have said is, guys, I would love an art studio that could be a safe space for vulnerable children or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the means. I'm not the guy
Yes.
to do it. So maybe if there's anyone out there that wants to invest in an art studio, then we can all run the art studio together. Stop acting like you're the proprietor of this art studio when you need us to give you money for it.
Yeah, he's literally complaining about utility costs. Like, you didn't think about this before, that this was going to be a thing?
Well, under the Biden administration, no one had to pay for electricity.
Good point. Yeah,
This,
you're right.
this orange bastard.
Yeah, he has tanked the market. That is true.
when I have something like this, a craft show, it's sort of like impending doom for me a little bit. I need to be able to fund the space to be able to support kids. But I love these paintings. And I'll be really happy to see other people love them as much as me.
Oh, man.
And I'll be really happy to see
that's
them go to
impossible,
amazing
by the way.
homes.
Correct.
But it's still, it's got me a little emotional. I hope y'all have a great weekend and wish me luck.
He just got choked up talking about his own art that he's made in the children's art studio.
This is
That
what I
tells you-
do when me and the skirt go for long drives.
Uh-huh.
I make her put on my podcast, and I'm like, oh man, when me and Craig did Boston Hilaria Baldwin, that was the pinnacle. We really did something there.
You're like, what a moment. I'm just glad that other people are enjoying it even more than I am.
And
Right
she's
now.
like, yeah, it's pretty funny. And I'm like, would you please just be
Yeah.
quiet?
All right,
Quiet, let's-
rewind it now. Back it up 15 seconds. You missed something. I was doing an impression of Alec Baldwin there. You missed it. What a douche. That tells you everything you need to know about this guy. He's getting choked up talking about selling his art because he's going to miss it.
That is my favorite when these guys cry over their own achievements. Where it's like,
Yes.
look what I painted. Any regular person would go, hey, here's a painting I made. I don't know. I don't think it's very good. And you let everyone else go, oh my God, you did that? That's
Yeah.
great.
That
You don't
was
go,
Howard
like, look what
Stern's.
I did.
Remember when Howard Stern was painting? That's all he was talking about.
Mhm.
That was his approach. He'd be like, I'm not a very good painter. And then eventually he started showing his paintings and people were like, oh, that's actually pretty good.
That's
Oh
smart.
yeah, that's how you do it. Also, let's not forget what's going on here. Dan pulled the paintings off the wall to hope to sell at this event. They'll probably go right back up on that wall when they don't sell, and he's already crying about them missing.
That's a good point, too. Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
You have to
If
find
you're that
100
upset-
different people to buy all those items.
Yeah, if you're that upset about it, just leave them on the wall. You got plenty of crap to sell.
Oh, can I go back for a moment?
Yes.
The way you phrased it, that those 19 mugs were 400 whatever dollars.
Yeah, 500 almost.
He's selling them in together?
No, each separately.
Oh, thank God. Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. Could you
I was like,
imagine?
I don't need 19. My cabinet's barely closed
No,
as
no.
it is.
No. Could you
19
imagine
mugs?
if anyone who goes to this thing has that kind of money? They don't.
Okay, all right.
Don't worry about that. All right, let's see what else you picked. I took you on a little detour here. A little.
Oh, please. Yeah.
I sidetracked us with Woke Dad. Let's see what you were finding.
This is for all my liberal and left-leaning friends out there in content creator land. If
Okay.
you've done
Oh shit! Before we get away from this, I'm sorry. I forgot one other thing that Record Lover wrote in the Discord. So I mentioned that was posted on Facebook by his sweetheart there.
Mhm.
Posted all those photos. So this guy commented underneath that, and he's not the Record Lover, and he's not woke.dad. It's a whole separate thing. He commented on there, "Is that the shoe fits?" ? As if like, oh, sweet, I know that art. He was
Sure.
blocked immediately.
What?
I know. So just bring up the shoe fits on Facebook, get you blocked.
But people used to flag him down in the street. The shoe fits. It's you.
I
in
know
Target.
you. Hey, you did that one video I didn't like. You're going to apologize to me? I'll never forget that story. So stupid. All right, I'm sorry. Let's get
All right.
back to this.
Meaning friends out there in content creator land, if you've done that account check and it comes up restricted, welcome to the club. Of course, this seems really odd because I don't have any violations against my account. I don't say or do things that are purposely against the guidelines. I'm pretty kind.
Yeah, purposely has nothing to do with it. So he's showing now behind him, his account says, account restricted. Your account is restricted for not following our guidelines. And so he's complaining about that.
And this seems really super odd. And here's what I have to say about that. I don't care. That's not why I create content. I don't create content for engagement. I create content to help other people, to uplift other people, to create community, to be there for other people.
Okay. So none of this makes sense. Because I don't care if people can't find my account, it's restricted. Yeah. I create content to help people and create a community. It's like, well, yeah, don't you need them to be able to get to it then? Like,
sure, they need to
wouldn't this be a problem for all of your objectives that you're referring to?
If you didn't care, you wouldn't be making the video.
Yeah, like wouldn't you want a larger and larger audience that you can make more of an impact with and save more lives and do more great things? Like, what do you mean you don't care? This whole thing is just like, you're not going to be my take on this. I don't care. And you know why?
Go ahead. This thing that none of you knew happened that I'm bringing up, I don't even care about it. Right.
Yeah, it's going back to the other video. It's like everything's just like, we didn't know that a vase got stolen. And you don't care? So what are we talking about then?
And it should be pointed out that the other side went through this for the last 8 years, and I don't think Daniel really gave a shit about it.
Nope. So. Definitely not. I don't remember the video of him going, listen, Alex Jones says a lot of crazy things, but everyone has a right to say what they want to say.
Right. He's built a community that he should be able to communicate with.
Yeah, right. You can't just take away his platform. I mean, the man has rights under our Constitution, as you know.
People, you see, when I first started on this app, I started to reach my kids, and at some point someone came along and told me that I helped to save their life. So
see how often he mentions it?
I hate that story so much. First off, again, it makes no sense that he became a TikToker to reach his children. If you want to make videos, you can text message those to them or email them or whatever device they have.
He has to have a public TikTok account.
It's a public TikTok.
When I create stuff, I try and do it for the right reason. Now, I'm human, and of course I have reactions and interactions that not everybody would agree with, but that's not why I do any of it.
Well, did you catch that?
TikTok goes,
I have interactions that not everyone agrees with. I've never heard that sentence in my life.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Where, like, sometimes I have interactions that people think don't exist.
Yeah, this is the thing with Dan. There's another video coming up that I was going to point this out.
Yeah.
But Dan never accepts any fault. He pretends to. Mm-hmm. But he's actually like, guys, I'm just human. I do things that people don't agree with. I do things I shouldn't have done. I say things that I look back at I should have said.
Or I do things that people think are completely made up with good reason.
Right. He never, ever actually takes any responsibility.
Right.
The way tomorrow, I'll be okay. Probably happier. With less stress. But do this for the right reason. And you're never going to worry when stuff doesn't go your way. I hope you have a good day. This is for all my liberal.
But to have less stress, I hate when people do that where it's like, oh, my life would be so much better if I could get off TikTok. Like, for some people, I get that you need it. Like, if you, the guys that work for Barstool need to be on social media. It's their job. So I could get them saying, like, when I retire or whatever, I'm just getting off Twitter. I can't do it anymore. Daniel he solely lives on TikTok.
Correct.
He doesn't. I don't think his income is from that. The only reason we know him is because he's on TikTok, and he's like, oh, I'd probably be even happier if I could get off TikTok. Then get off of it.
No, he literally said if TikTok went away. Remember it did. Do you remember how he reacted to it?
This is wrong.
Yeah, he freaked out and he went on YouTube and created an account and tried to start up a whole new thing on YouTube to be an influencer there. And now he's acting like he's above social media. We've seen how you react when social media is taken away. You got very upset about it.
Yeah, it's a sickness that you have, Dave.
It is. He's pretending to recognize it, but he's not. Also, I want to point out, so he's outside. You can hear nature. You can see the tree branches and stuff behind him in houses. The first hashtag of this video, you'll never guess.
Shadow band.
Hashtag green screen.
Why?
I have no idea. He did do the one green screen thing where he showed that his account was restricted or whatever. But
I guess that's why.
Yeah, so apparently TikTok like gives you suggestions of what hashtags to use, and he's just like, "Yep, yep,
I will hop on the back of that observation and raise you one.
okay,
He doesn't want to reach people.
right."
He's
Why are you
hashtagging this
hashtagging?
fucking
What are all
thing.
these hashtags?
I don't give a
change-
fuck who I reach.
He's got hashtag change the world on there. I feel like he wants to do something with this platform. All right, you ready for a message to parents out there?
Oh, I'd love one. Yes, I like that Daniel is a 40-something-year-old man who's sticking it to mom and dad.
Yes, as we know, Dan's alluded to the fact he no longer talks to members of his family, and we've all speculated that's his parents and maybe some other people as well. But they did vote for Trump, so that is a good reason to
Bastards.
shut your kids out of loved ones,
Grandparents' lives.
Yeah, right.
Common sense is about as weak an argument as it gets, because the term common sense is based on every individual's opinion, and since every individual has a different opinion, well, it's a bad argument. It's a bad.
I would argue that, even though I don't want to because it's annoying. But common sense is not opinion. That's the whole.
Well, that proves what he's saying.
That's the reason why okay, fair enough. But that's the reason why the term common sense exists, because it's not up for debate.
He's saying it doesn't exist.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. Okay.
An opinion, well, it's a bad argument. It's a bad faith argument. You're right about one thing, though. Teaching your kids right from wrong, that's something that all parents should do. When I teach my kids right from wrong, I teach them how to be kind towards other people. I teach them how to uplift other people and not break people down. I teach them that people have differences in opinions, and it's okay to have a difference in opinion.
Okay, good.
I teach them that people with different values, though, those are the people that you don't need in your life.
Oh.
And that's why now more than ever.
That's interesting. You can have a different opinion, but you can't have different values.
Let's try. Let me throw an exercise at you.
Please, I have one too.
Let's pretend I live in the Jim Crow South in the 60s.
Sure. Yep.
And I'm like, listen, I don't give a goddamn what color you are or where you're from. It's the value. If you have certain values, I don't want you in my neighborhood. Like, if you don't agree with I don't want you in my schools. I don't want you marrying my children.
Right.
You know, but that's because you have different. I'm not a racist. It's because you have different values than me.
Yeah, you value the NBA more than I do.
Right.
I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down right here.
Yes.
Well, so opinions and values, opinions, you got to forgive people, but if they have different values, you can't talk to them ever again. So it's my opinion that children shouldn't have their genitalia mutilated. Now, I also value the fact that we should be doing that to children.
I gotcha.
So,
You have values.
Right. So I think that mine and Dad's values don't align for that reason. I'm like, well, you know, she's 16. Maybe don't take her boobs off quite yet. Let's let her kind of think through this a little bit more.
I don't want to wait 2 whole years.
Okay, fair enough.
So many kids are going no contact with their parents because they share different values, and they have a right to consent whether or not that person deserves to be in their life. And I tell you one thing, when my kids were first born, I promised them I'd keep them happy, healthy, and safe, and that was it.
You can't make other people happy. Just want to point that out. Happiness is internal. It's a ridiculous goal to have, but okay.
Come on, pep up, kids.
I promise I'd keep you happy, and I see a frown over there. But this is interesting because he's saying that children have stopped talking to their parents because they have different values. But that will never happen to me. My kids will always have the right values. Like, well, that could change.
And I'm sure your parents thought, like, not meaning Daniel. I'm
Yeah,
sure
right.
Daniel's parents thought, well, my kids will never not talk to me based on political differences.
Right. If there's like 2 choices to vote for a president, he can't like stop talking to me because I picked one of them, right? That can't be a thing.
we raised him better than that, certainly.
I'd keep them happy, healthy, and safe, and that was it. Those were the only stipulations I had because I knew they'd be different than me, and different's okay. And I will always keep my kids happy, healthy, and safe. And because of that, I don't have to worry about my kids ever going no contact. They know I love them, and they know I'll be there for them, even if they have different ideas than me.
Wait,
isn't I know none of that it wasn't a good conclusion based on the build up.
Yeah.
But Also, isn't it amazing that he's always the good guy? So we're literally talking about, in my opinion, I could be wrong, I don't know the family dynamics. We're literally justifying him not talking to his parents, which are the grandparents to his kids.
Yeah.
But he's also the good guy in this because his kids would never do that to him. But
he also doesn't see the immaturity of spinning it, like, because they voted for Trump, apparently.
Right.
And he's like, well, that means they don't love me. But my kids will never not love me because they'll always vote the same as I do. Like, what if these kids vote for fucking, I don't know.
Oh,
Trump,
God forbid.
For Baron Trump.
Oh, God forbid. I don't know if you even know what you just said just now, Mike. That's so offensive.
I know.
Could you imagine?
We won't post this one as a clip. It's too hot.
Could you imagine if that happened? Like, I've talked about this before. I grew up in a household where my dad listened to a lot of classical music, a lot of opera, and I opted to play electric guitar and play in punk rock bands. You know, sometimes children will do the opposite of what their parents are into because they see it as lame.
Right. Or not even see it as like if these kids grow up and say, Dad, I love you. You did a tremendous job raising us. I think your values, however, are dog shit.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with any of them. And I'm going to vote the opposite of you. Will Dan stop talking to them? Because that's what he just laid out.
You know, Dan, I want to talk to you about this tariff thing. I think Colombia should pay 25% to get the beads over to your mobile
Thailand's
coffee
playing
shop.
ball. Why can't everyone else be like that?
That's hilarious. Recreating conversations with him and his kids where they're like, I don't know, I kind of like some of the stuff. I mean, the stock market's taking a dip for a minute, but you got to understand manufacturing's going to come back and it's actually going to build long term for a better society.
Like, I don't know. Canada be like India, I guess, if you're that upset about it.
All right. One more woke dad clip. Thanks everybody for sticking around. Who are these socials? We've got a couple more super chats to read before we get out of here and some voicemails coming up. But first,
I see a lot of people at my coffee shop window every week. I mean, like, a lot of people, hundreds of people, and I'm super friendly, so I get into a lot of conversation. And it's pretty clear that not all those people
I'm
share
the fucking
same
man, and everyone
ideas
wants to
values.
talk to me.
I like that he's like, I see hundreds of people. I have so many customers. You guys wouldn't even believe my coffee's so amazing. I'm a super friendly.
What do you do? What can I get you, sir? Sir,
I'm
please.
TikToking. Can you wait a minute? I know. He doesn't seem that busy, to be honest with you, when I see all these videos, but he pretends that he is. So that's good. But I also like when he explains that he's friendly and loving and great.
Yes. Yeah.
And
No,
it's pretty
I'm
clear
very
that not all those people share the same ideas and values and beliefs as me. I'm just as kind to every person who shows up to my window, and I'm understanding if they don't have the same ideas. But sometimes it gets pretty interesting. A little earlier today, a guy was sharing about his family.
Oh, we got an anecdote. All right, conversation between a customer from earlier in the day.
Baby.
All right, let's
It's been
go.
a while.
Let's hear with this one. I always love these.
And I started talking about mine. And when I was talking about my sweetheart, I said my partner. And he stopped dead in his tracks, got this real serious look on his face. And he said, "You mean to tell me that you're gay?"
Yeah, because in 2025, that's what people say when they think there's a gay man that they're talking
What?
to.
You a pickle puffer boy? Did I just hear the word partner come out of your mouth, you sick pervert?
I'll be lighting some torches tonight. That's for sure.
Now, can I tell you? I sort of believe this story in this sense. In this sense. Maybe it just didn't happen. I don't know the levels to which Dan fabricates. But here's what I believe could have happened. If he says, well, me and my partner were blah, blah, blah. And the person goes, oh, I didn't realize you were gay.
Right.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I don't think it was. You mean to tell me
you're not one of those, are you? Because I've been talking to you, and this is a problem.
You're not one of those goo gobbling freaks, are you?
I thought you were one of us pussy hounds. I don't want to have a conversation with you.
And then Daniel has to go, no, I bang pussy. I pulverize the pussy. Don't worry, sir.
That's true. He did brag about that recently, and then they high-fived, and he's like, all right, man, here's a tip. Good for you.
And I said, no, I'm not gay. I am straight. And I still have a partner. Because she's not an object to be owned. She's not less than me. We are co-equal partners in our relationship.
I'm confused. So partner is the best term, but girlfriend means you own them.
Yeah.
Isn't every term pretty much
You
kinda
own
the
all your
same?
friends, so a girlfriend.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? My significant other, is that ownership? What do you mean?
Now, I prefer the sitcom version of this, where the guy goes, "Hey, you ain't gay, but you got a partner. What are you doing living with him?" Like you can't understand it.
Right. He doesn't compute with them. Yeah, but let's go back to that guy that you're hanging out with. What are you guys gambling on sports together or something? Yeah, poker buddies? What is this?
Than me. We are co-equal partners in our relationship. She's brilliant and kind and strong, and she is my partner.
Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. So he's having an argument with a guy that's long gone. I don't know why. I don't know why we're part of this argument. It's already over.
Yeah.
But also, he feels like he has to justify that his girlfriend is witty, intelligent, whatever. That's not what the guy meant when he's just like, a lot of gay people say my partner. That's just, it's a term that they use. He didn't mean any offense to your girlfriend.
She doesn't just suck my meat dry, if that's what you're thinking, pal. No, I
Stands by
wasn't.
my side. It's kind of weird that you would think otherwise.
He
It's
did.
also kind of weird that you would think that a derogatory term would be partner.
He didn't.
Or that there would be something wrong with someone being.
Whoa! Oh, I didn't pick up on this the first time. Now, because this guy goes, "Oh, are you gay?" He's like, "Oh, partner's a derogatory term, and it's a bad thing." It's like, no, he just thought you were gay. Do you think that's a bad thing?
Because you said a thing that for a time, I guess not a long time, but like a period of time in this country, that signified I'm a guy with a
Same
husband or
sex,
whatever.
same sex, whatever relationships. Wow, that he's loading this up with a lot of his own insecurity here.
Otherwise. It's also kind of weird that you would think that a derogatory term would be partner, or that there would be something wrong with someone being gay.
Wait, what did he say? What did the guy?
Yeah, I know. That was the end of the conversation.
And then the guy just shook his head and took his coffee and left, or what?
He's the worst. His conversations. You couldn't record that one, Dan. You don't pull out the phone for that one.
So let me get this straight. You're having a conversation with a guy. It seems like a lovely conversation until this ugliness.
Correct.
Where
They were
you're
getting
like,
along,
yeah, I'm telling you about my day. Me and my partner do this, and this guy goes, "You gay boy?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Why do you think that women aren't equal?" And then the guy takes his coffee and goes home.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. The guy goes, "Oh, you're gay," and he's just like, "No, I have a girlfriend. She's very smart and intelligent." He's like, "Yeah, no, it's fine."
Based on the character he wanted us to believe this person was, there would have been an extreme reaction to Daniel saying that. The guy would have dumped out his coffee and gone, "I'm never shopping here again."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even want to touch the mug. God knows where your hands have been.
That is true.
like you guys have played against Magic Johnson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like it's 1992.
Oh,
it's got
you didn't take a
AIDS all
sip
of
of
a
this, did you?
sudden.
Go to blindmike.com for Blind Mike, or go to whoarethese.com for KARL, and make sure you subscribe to both channels, or there will be no banter.